Hello everyone, it's me, Felix Valenti. I'm back, and thank you for everyone who came. Thank you for everyone who waited. So today's my birthday stream. Admittedly, I had a lot of uh, I had a lot of original plans for this, but I guess I just decided to make it a Zatsudan or Q&A because I wanted to be more casual. I wanted to be more slow. Um, But yeah, so in general, oh hey Fami, hey Fami, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Is the music too loud? Oh hey Hallowed, thank you. Is the music too loud or is it good? Is it all good? I'll lower it a little bit. Anyways, so I had like I had a lot of thoughts on just this in general on this coming up. I plan to do like early on or early on because as far as if everyone is familiar with me, I guess from early on in Twitter, I was supposed to debut like and make some kind of actual like a semi-proper debut a long time ago, which was immediately after Flavor, which is the fan group that Pipkin Pippa made, and I was inspired by Brolime to basically because he was like my semi Oshi at the time. Like he was basically the proof of concept that hey, like literally anyone can be a VTuber. Literally anyone can be a VTuber, and I unfortunately remained like a VTweeter for a very long amount of time, never really getting any progress on making this until this year when I finally just, you know what, I just went, you know what, I'm just gonna see it. I'm just gonna debut. I'm just gonna make. I don't need to debut. I'm just gonna start streaming and see how it goes because I don't want to. The wait is too long. I'm a bit crushed by the wait, so I decided to just hop on stream with this bare bones low effort setup. But I've grown to really appreciate just I guess how long I've been doing this and I remember early on, oh yeah, Twitter. Yeah, I was a V tweeter for a long time. I was I was the one being ridiculed. I was for a long while, I was the one who was afraid of the go live button, but hey, well, things have changed. I'm getting a little bit better. And in general, I had a lot of I had a lot of ideas. Maybe I get a like do some kind of lore PowerPoint on by the time of my birthday. Maybe I'd be able to get like a running PNG like the moving PNG by the time of my birthday. Maybe I'd do this and all that. But I guess I'm glad I'm taking things slow because I'm still pretty new to PNG tubing and all that. This is and for what it's worth, I guess I'll be happy. For what it's worth, I'm happy with it. And things are still continuing. Things are still nothing. There's no major changes. I'm still gonna do what I like doing, just ranting to you guys and playing games and all that. Because it's a really good. It's been a really good outlet for me to get my thoughts out into the world. That's why I started. That's why I started PNG tubing, anyways. So, anyways, I wanted to get into I wanted to get into the questions that were asked of me on Twitter for the part of the Q&A. Anyways, where is that? Any fun past birthday stories from Panda Apple? Anyway, so recently things have been a little bit a lot of my fun past birthday stories have always been when I was really young, when it was acceptable to throw big parties, when it was like it's when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, you get to play around a lot when like like you know how things go. Once you get older, I guess if you're more of an introvert, once you hit high school, you don't really invite people to your birthday parties or anything like that. You don't really like. I guess you do something special. You go out nice to eat, but like the big birthdays really stop around middle school. I think that's how it was. And the last like I think birthday that I had like that I can remember was my mom inviting two of my friends from middle school at the time to go out, hang out at a bowling alley, and screw around in the arcade there, which was really fun. And another one was when I was still in elementary school was paintball. Was my dad taking two and my other friends out for paintball, and that was I can't remember if that was like on my birthday or if it was just for my birthday, but that was really nice too. I really enjoyed that. A lot of the recent stuff has been really subdued, and I guess it's kind of because of a changing mood. I haven't had the best luck with post 18. A lot of my birthdays haven't been, I guess, the kindest to me because 2 years ago it was I got a notification that I was getting kicked out of my dream college on the same day as my birthday, which was pretty rough. It wasn't took a bit of a toll on me, admittedly. And recently my mom had to, and for on today, mom had to fly, my mother had to fly out to the Philippines to go back home for her because my grandfather recently passed away and she's there with my aunt, and I hope they're all doing well. But I'm trying to keep the mood light, and I kind of hope this stream was going to be something to keep it to keep it a bit more light. Sorry, Panda Apple, for the I guess the more grim side of the experience. When birthdays were fun, and oh, look at another year passed. Who? Yeah, that kind of thing. I hope they're okay. Yeah, me too. Look at I think because I'm at that age, because I guess because, well, in real life it's my 21st birthday. It's my, like, I'm literally, this is the final transition, this is like the final transition into adulthood, what's considered to be that. And it's all that's the, like, oh, you can do all this legally, you can drink legally, you can purchase all this legally. And I don't know, it's a lot more. It's like, a lot of people treat their 18th as like an extension, as like a second time to repeat their 21st as an extension to repeat their 18th, like it's an experience like their 18th. But I don't know. I don't really have. I don't. I am celebrate like I do have a friend later that I'm gonna meet up with. Who I'm glad to have met up with him because he's basically the only IRL friend that I have besides online to experience a birthday with. And he's taking, like, instead of him coming over, he's taking me to this own event with his friends. So that's gonna be fun. If you got time, enjoy it. Yeah. I don't want this to be the trauma dump stream, but I do feel like it's that sense of, I've gotten to this stage in my life. I've gotten to the final stage. You're fully in adulthood now. What have you done since you were 18? What have you done since you were 16? And that weighs down on a lot of pressure. But I guess I'm channeling it here, that in Ireland, in Ireland everything is unlocked at 18, so it's very different here. That's interesting. A lot of, like, in the US, it's like 16 is like, oh, I get to drive, I get to do stuff, like, and go out on my own for the first time. 18 is the more I get to do all of that. I'm legally an adult, age of consent and all that, you know. And then 21 is drinking age, smoking age. In the US, 21 is the minimum age, national age, where you can buy a firearm. And on Saturday, I'm gonna go to a shooting range with my dad because he hasn't been. I always play up the tactical persona. I like guns, I like military stuff, but I haven't really had too much experience with firearms in real life. And my dad hasn't shot a gun since he was, still in the Philippines. Since ironically, he's shot more guns in the Philippines than before he immigrated to the U.S. So taking him back is gonna be interesting. Oh geez, 12. This is not the last stage. Me and Temp can tell you that. Thank you, Tommy. Oh, 12 is to get sloshed at a bar. 15 is to get sloshed at a bar. 18 is to get sloshed at a bar. 21 is to get sloshed at a bar. Man. Yeah, that's like unheard of over here. All the like most of like unless you have like really shitty parents. Oh, I wish we had guns here. Yeah, I wish y'all did as well. Europe doesn't have as much luxuries when it comes to guns or recreational firearms as the US. But when it comes to the 12, 15 thing, that is like unheard of here. I've only 12 shit. It's like it's wild because um even in college, most of like you're like most of everyone is 18, like 17 to 18 in college, and 19, 20, like, and it's only if you're like if you're old enough to be doing something like going for a 6 year or like a junior or a senior, you're probably out drinking like at an actual bar. But I have seen like the slightly irresponsible the I have seen the irresponsible like I want to drink, I want to have a good time, but I have seen like the like when people can be irresponsible with alcohol in college, and I had to endure like a pretty bad night where my dorm neighbor was like sloshed out of his mind and crying and in the in the shower in the shower next to me while like his friends had to attend to him. So that got pretty rough. So yeah, like know your limit, like knowing your limits, because a lot of us, I think, like a moment we get like out of sight for our parents, we get into liquor cabinets, we get to our friends' beer, and we drink and we drink, and we might not know our limits. And I'm lucky enough to have done most of my drinking like at Thanksgiving or Christmas with family. So like it's usually something like wine. The most I've had in the presence of my parents was like soju that my uncle and my cousin brought over because they like Korea. That's and alone, most of what I've drank is if you're from the if you're from a certain server, a certain Discord server where you know me, you'll be aware of the the Valentine's Day incident where I did stream. I didn't get much viewers, so I kind of quit for the night, and then I I got into some Jim Beam Peach, and that gave me basic like I loved it, and it gave me like an instant hangover. I'm lucky I was coherent enough to like that was my first real experience with being drunk and like slightly like conked out, like like tweaking out when drunk. That was my first real experience this Valentine's Day. You know, you're all alone. You didn't get that much viewers on a stream. You tend to do some slightly irresponsible things, and at least I got Pippa to keep me company. Anyways, okay. From Z, Kuru Zipporuku. I don't think he follows me, but he is I see him follow a lot of people. This is on Twitter. What's your favorite non-American national anthem or song? Admittedly, it's this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. It's La Marseillaise the French national anthem, La Marseillaise, because it's so striking and it's so funny. I find it's a very striking anthem. A very striking. Let me I should take a screenshot of the questions and put them up on screen. Hold on. Um. So we have. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me take a picture of this. Panda Apple and Z. Okay, so let's add. Hold on. add a new source instead. And it's I hope you studied for my question. That's the unfortunate part. I'm basing it all off of memory and I don't have that good of a memory of it. Okay, so panda apple. Oh, let's drag that out here. Any fun past birthday stories? And question 2, where's that? That is. Give me a second. I'll be right. Give me a second. Screenshots. And what's your favorite tank and what's your favorite oh, hold on. Oh. And what's your favorite non-American national anthem? So yeah, going back to that, it was my favorite non-American national anthem. It probably has to be La Marseillaise and the French national anthem. I know, it's France. Let's hate on France, but I genuinely find it. Hold on, can y'all see the? Yeah, there it is. Because the lyrics are so violent for a national anthem. It's like it's a very like it's funny for France to have a very warrior-esque national anthem. I guess that it's befitting of the French Revolution. But if you look at the lyrics, it's a very warlike, it's a very violent national anthem. It's very striking to me. So besides the U.S. Star Spangled Banner, La Marseillaise has to be my favorite non-American national anthem. And besides that, I've heard enough of the Philippine national anthem, which unfortunately, to my own blood, disservice to my own country, to my own ethnic blood, I cannot remember the actual title of it. Just know it as the Philippine national anthem. But I've heard that enough. That's probably going to be around third, after La Marseillaise. And as for hey, Mr. Cool, what's going on? I'm doing fine. Anyway, so my favorite tank has to be I like a lot of Cold War tanks. And for that one it has to be like I have three answers. The first is no, Irish national anthem slap. Is it Black and Tans? Yeah, I only know black. I know Black and Tans, Kinky Boots, and My Little Armlines. I know IRA marching songs. I don't know like the actual Irish national anthem. But in terms of my favorite tank, it has to be like I like a lot of tanks from the Cold War. I played a lot of War Thunder. I was into Girls and Panzer. But I know that focuses a lot on World War II tanks. But my favorite has to be the M60 Patton series, which is which was the American standard for like the 1950s to around the 1980s when they introduced the Abrams. Bruh, nah. What are you saying not to? Is it the tank choice or me only knowing IRA songs? Or the pub symbol? I covered that in I did a lot of streams about technicals, but I wanted to do at some point I wanted to do a mechanical marvels, which is like me just spurging out and being autistic over mechanical things, military things, industrial things. I wanted to do one on the M60 series. Because I think it's a lot of people think it's like the generic US tank, but to me it's probably one of the most modular tanks in the world because literally most of NATO and and a lot of countries outside of it have adopted some variant of the M48 or the M60. Like Turkey, Taiwan, Israel, like not Israel, but Turkey, Taiwan, Iran, and a lot of other different countries. It's like the tank. It's the definitive like Cold War American tank. And it's so modular because this thing was like designed in like the 1950s. It was designed in the 1950s, meant for a war that never came in Europe, but it's adopted by literally everyone, and it's so modular and so like it's so upgradable that a lot of countries can just slap on new shit that's normally on the Abrams. That's and Mechanical Marvels videos on that I have on the technical. You can see a lot of, I think, on at least a few of them, you can see the T62 or T62 or T54 in the background of a lot of the a lot of the shots. And like the M48 and M60, the T54 and the T62 are basically like the quintessential Soviet tank of the Cold War, at least before the T72 came in. And it's like it's fun because you see all these and they get upgraded to like levels that you can't even that surprises me. They can put on a lot of armor, they can put on a lot of active protection systems, and I don't want to get too political, but they are deploying them right now in Ukraine, the Russian side at least, and I believe also the Ukrainian side as well. It goes to show how long these things have been in service, literally since a design dating to the 1950s, and it's still chugging, and it's still gonna go on for like a lot of other countries as well. If you get one, it's basically a warlord's dream. You can have as many as you want, and you can like as long as the big boys stay out of the picture, as long as you've got like a T54 or T62, your game. Oh, drop frames detected. Oh, are you guys having connection problems? So it's like the AR of tanks. Yeah, Hallowed. Are you guys having any connection problems on your end? Um, Hold on. Are you guys lagging or anything? Because I'm getting a troubleshooting message from Streamlabs. Yeah, the Leo one is going on pretty well. I always like the Leo one over the Leo two. I always thought the Leo one looked really cool. It is okay now. All right, that's good. So like the M60 really was the AR of tanks, like the most modular thing designed in the 60s and 50s. It still goes on just like the T54 and the T62 are like the AK of tanks kind of. Okay. Yeah, connection problems, but it's okay now. All right. So he's gonna I I hate this guy. He keeps on getting in feuds with he keeps on getting in feuds with in on in the Discord that I have. Hold on. I'm gonna take it in stride. You know what? I'm gonna have fun with it. My knowledge of tanks comes from Hearts of Iron 4 and War Thunder, and that's it. Admittedly, a lot of my own tank knowledge, like the discovery that the Panzer, like that the German Panzers are like have really shit armor. That discovery came from War Thunder, of all places. Anyways, so question 3. Let's see if this loads. I hate it here. Um, a screenshot. But no, it didn't. Oh, drop frames detected again. Hold on. The smug gamer. I know what his username is on Discord though. I know this guy. I hate this guy. I hate him in a way like fuck this guy, but he's fun. He's funny. Let's go. Oh, come on. That screenshot didn't load again. There we go. And let's add question 3. Oh, drop frames again. Um I hate this guy. This guy, man. Why do you like that? I don't know, man. I think if you take like I've heard of people taking testosterone and then they suddenly get gay thoughts. So I'm pretty sure that's where it comes from. So there's your answer. That's why. That's why I got. There's your answer. It's the testosterone. And then here's Hallowed's question. Who? Thank you for follow being on my stream so much recently. After meeting you on Twitter, that was cool. Let's get to Hallowed's question, which is question 4. And you know what? I'm gonna turn this into like, oh nope, nope, nope. I accidentally cloned myself. that that was a mistake. Nope. I accidentally cloned myself. Homosexual, yeah, I'm homosexual. Just like Broline. Just like just like the rap that he did. Oh, here we go. That you know, it's the worst part, Hallowed. I haven't studied, and you know, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull a Kirsha. I'm gonna pull up a tab. I'm gonna hold on. So screenshots. Oh, this is gonna be the big one. Opinions on the Finno-Korean hyper war. Aha, clone. Neither of us want directions. I am Chronosol. I don't think I've seen you in my streams before. Oh, um, also known as the Juan Suomi hyper war. I believe that it originated as the War for Hyperborea. I could not be entirely certain. Then again, my bloodline were originally tribals living in the deep pygmy global south. That being said, let us open a tab and pull a Kirsha and open the tab. Um. Should've let's pull a window capture. Hello Felix. Yeah, this is the first stream of yours I can hop in. That's nice. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Um, where is that? Streamlabs, Brave. Um, let's. What is this? Happy birthday! Thank you. It is my 21st. Thank you. Okay, let's see what this is about. You know, it's a Reddit, but whatever. Let's take a look. The Battle of Siberia, the Siege of Helsinki. So I was correct. It did extend into Egypt and into the Near East, and as we see the Star Destroyers employed by the Ugaric Navy, the Giza Mass Autism Array, 80. 8245 to 617 2073 years. Finland, Russia, Crimea, Central Asian steppes, outer space. Oh, the departure of the Nephilim. Oh, that makes sense now. So this is like immediately after the around immediately after the tower, the fall of the Tower of Babel, and the death of all the giants. So all the giants died, all the Nephilim, all the biblical Nephilim, the giants, the descendants of the of the the unholy angels, that were all died, and we took their technology. So there was this mass explosion of technology in this immediate death of the Nephilim era, where we briefly built the Tower of Babel, but then we were struck down by some kind of divine energy weapon that scattered us across the globe. But so we have here, I'm tapping into like the Lore Lodge Wendigoon side of me to do this. But so we have the Giza Mass Autism Array, which as far as I'm familiar with, was built using giant technology and energy crystals that we salvaged from the Tower of Babel after that was struck down by the energy weapons from above. So yeah, the departure of the Nephilim, the disappearance of Lemuria, that makes sense. The Huan Civil War, bro, watch one Wendigoon video, the third Neanderthal genocide. Yeah, so that would have been a major effect as part of a major victory for the for the Ugric Koreans, because that took out a lot of the Finnish fight, like that destroyed a lot of the Finnish army's fighting force. They could no longer they were they were less adept at fighting in the multivariable combined arms combat positions employed by the Neanderthals, and that destruction of that knowledge of that tactical and strategic knowledge that was lost in in the great genocide of the Neanderthals directly contributed to the a lot of the war got a lot more intense. They were relying more and more on their on their divine and on the looted divine energy weapons, and less on the superior close range tactics and CQB room clearing tactics of the Neanderthals. So the war on autism in the Finnic theater ongoing. Yeah, that checks out. Ever since that, ever opinions on the Agarthan intervention during the Second Grand Battle of Suomi. Yeah, that really turned the tide of turned the tide of the war against the Koreans. The of the o- of the as far as I remember, the Grand Hunt in that instance, the Grand Hunt was employed as shock artillery against the Huan Empire. So that would have been a major turning point in what was the like what was basically the Korean to be able to start pushing back the Koreans. Three horse archers, the Ursine cow of the Grand Imperial Star Fleet, and Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan. And the Lemurian forces disappear from the Earth. Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense in the grand context of things, which is why the Lemurians were a major ally of the Finnish, of the Finns, where the Lemurians were a major non-Indo-European ally of the Finns that would have been able to strike pretty hard at the Koreans and be able and force them into fighting a two-front war against the as far as as I remember in the Japanese area, that like the Lemurians would have had a would have gained at least a foothold into Ugaric into Huan territory. Starfleet vaporized approximately 3 inches average penis leg. Proto-Finnic Kagane partition, then dissolve Finnish social skills. Well, they didn't take a they weren't able to ethnic cleanse out the Finnish ability to make games, particularly weird, harsh games. Oh, 2 million dead, over 10 million wounded. Swiss mercenaries and a T-Rex. Proto ninjas. What the activation of the world during the Mexican Empire. Um, Terror Omnibus is gonna. If you, I know him from Twitter, and he might be watching. He's gonna. Have you seen the Philippine the Have you seen the five Filipinos versus almost 20 Mexicans video from the Third Battle of Oslo? I have watched. The we my early tribal ancestors certainly put up a grander fight than I could have had. 20 Mexicans is quite a force, but five Filipinos, we could hold the line. We were a very good auxiliary for the I remember we were imported as combat slaves by the Finns from the Lemurians. So that would have been able to provide a good close range auxiliary force in absence of the Neanderthals. What can I say? Si- Sigminji of South Africa, Protectorate of Indu, the One Empire, the Britannia, the Mexican Empire. Well, I guess this area would have still been dominated by the terror birds, and this area would have been still held by roving packs of saber-tooths and dire wolves. Oh, that's Atlantis! Hey, Atlantis? We haven't seen you in a while. I guess it wasn't inhabited yet. And we and we see the land bridge that the that the Mongoloids and Denisovan peoples took to the New World and fight off the and eventually colonize the Mexican Empire and assimilate them into their own group. This has been a great lesson. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could help. Anyways, so I guess a more another topic that was if y'all have any more questions, feel free to ask them in chat. But there was a question asked of me on Discord, also by Panda Apple, by Panda Apple, which was what happened to me because I was discussing on a certain Discord server that my one of my friends called. I think your chat overlay is kind of brokey. Yeah, I think it's lagging behind a little bit. I don't know. It's oh my yeah, chat is dead. That chat is currently dead. Let me unlock source. Let me try that. Let me try deleting it and then bringing it back. Widgets, chat box. Here we go. Hold on. Let me pull up the let me fix my chat box and then I'll continue with my story. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about my stories right. It's loading right now. I'll talk about my story right now. So I cited that one of my friends told like a long time ago when I was back in high school. My friends told me that one of my friends told me that I was basically a real life Hisao from Katawa Shoujo of all things because I have a heart problem. I have like this weird tachycardia problem that crops up from time to time. So that did become like a thing that I had to deal with for a lot in life. And well, of course, I'm thankful to not have Hisao's disease from Hisao's problem from Katawa Shoujo, which is like he had to get his heart operated on. But he made the joke that I was basically like I went to a school for special needs. I didn't actually go to like us like so for context, for a while, I wasn't doing well. I wasn't doing well in high school. I went to a Catholic school previously. Hold on, let me still continue to try and fix my chat box. Add source. Hold on. Oh, I think maybe it should be good. Maybe it should be good. I'm not sure. As long I think like if y'all keep talking, the chat box might return. I'm not familiar with this problem with Streamlabs, but I didn't really do that well in I was doing fine in some classes. Oh, test. Oh, I don't think it works. So let me try that again. Oh, that's a lag crow. There was a crow from outside, I think. Because I think I have the window for chat box open. The chat can't hold us. Yeah. Um. Hey, you make a backup of this one. I'm trying to make a backup of. Hey, it works now! Yay! It works now. Um. Chat can't hold us. Anyways, so copper, copperhead snake. Hey, man. Those of you who know, you'll know, you'll know why he's making that joke. But yeah, I didn't. Going back to that, I didn't do necessarily that well in early high school, and I went to a Catholic school for the first year, and I ended up getting kicked out for a few reasons. Stuff I guess I maybe for another time that I would explain. But my grades weren't doing that well, and I had to go to this what basically was a private school for what I call it special needs kids, like special needs kids, rich kids, and rich special needs kids. That was the primary that was it's this like tiny school that was operating out of basically an office building, and and like I'm not gonna mention the name because of course not because but because like it could like that's probably one of my easiest doxes besides my name would be to just mention the name of the school and so that but yeah, so I was like I like first year there I was pretty like I was pretty troubled. I was going through a lot emotionally. I was very Menhera. That was like my when I fully realized how Menhera I am and how like crazy I am, and basically like my awakening that yeah, you're autistic. Yeah, you have a lot of problems that like maybe you have a learning disability. Maybe because as y'all are familiar, I'm massively autistic, and so that contributed. But and like in there that was like supposed to like help me with my grades and provide me with a better environment that I could learn in, and I did learn in. I had a lot of good relationships with my teachers there, and despite it being like oh it's a special needs school, but it was just for people that just couldn't fit in a lot of regular schools. Literally like if it wasn't the rich kids, if it wasn't the rich kids or like the actual special needs people, it was Menhera. It was like the girls that you would meet at that school were literally face connect material. Like I'm not even joking. If they were like if they were a femcel, you had a lot of lesbians, you had a lot of femcels, and that's where and speaking of femcels and like fujoshis, that is where I met my currently the only relationship I've ever officially had, which was my ex girlfriend, and I like it's a funny story because I wasn't originally interested in her, and she kind of annoyed me when we first met. She kept playing because she was like into Russia and like into like the Soviet Union of all things, and so I got annoyed by it. I got annoyed of her blasting the Soviet anthem, so I started playing Panzerlied on my phone. I started playing Panzerlied, which I will not be able to play on YouTube. I will not be able to play right now because of various things. I might be banned. If you're not familiar, that's the armor. That's the song of the Panzer Corps of the Wehrmacht to shut her up. But like, we ended up like we kept on talking. We kept on talking, and a few more than a few times. But don't out people like that. It's not. Don't worry. It's not Pippa. It's not Pippa. If it was Pippa, she would have. If it was Pippa, I would have been infected by mold with like some kind of rare mold disease by now. She had my ex-GF had other problems, but literally in the few times because we were both like the turbo autists of the school, like basically like we were literally told multiple times during lunch to get a room because we would not stop talking about politics that no one else wanted to hear in the cafeteria, and then like and besides that besides their like very strong like our like very strong political differences, we ended up becoming like, oh, we're friends, we should keep talking multiple times. We were literally told to get a room multiple times with other people because we could not shut up at all. And then eventually I was because like even though I wasn't originally interested in her, it's ironic because my character I adopted the persona the VTuber persona of a Cupid because I like shipping people. I like it's something that like I think I'm crazy for. I think I keep on doing it subconsciously. It's something I can't help. I always like I end up shipping people. But the irony is that my like I eventually got with my XG like now XGF because people would not stop shipping us. People would not stop like telling us to just like just make it just get together already. So we did. And Panda Apple brought it up in I think it was Panda Apple or someone else brought it up in the Discord that I was talking in where she was in a relationship with this brony guy, and I was completely unaware of it. Like I was like mostly unaware of this guy. I thought they weren't together anymore. But I confessed to her, I wrangled it out of myself at school. We officially became a couple. Then we got home, we talked on Discord, and I had to confront her then boyfriend, the brony, that was like being weird and a bit creepy on Discord. But like, even though he was being weird and like possessive and creepy, I still felt so bad for the guy because I was like kind of unaware. My ship is me and a bottle of vodka. That's a lot of guys, my friend. That's a lot of guys, Hallowed. But I was completely unaware she was already in a relationship and like basically I was her way out. And I didn't think too much of it at the time. But I somewhat accidentally cut this guy, and I felt so bad. I remember just feeling so bad for this guy, even if my girlfriend did want to get away from him, and for good reason, I still felt really bad. But yeah, that's someone called me Felix the Bull on the server, and I'm a bit embarrassed by that. But yeah, that did happen. That did happen. And eventually, about the femcell story, like I blame her subconsciously for even though I didn't get into Phase Connect after my first year of college when we weren't in contact with each other anymore. I kind of blame her because she was a hardcore Fujoshi. I don't like this anime arc. It was an anime arc. It was like I was like my friend called me the anime the long suffering anime protagonist of the time because of like this series of events that just happened. By the way, Copperhead, if I'm gonna check the Discord. I'm gonna probably check the Discord after the stream. So if you pull if you can ping me on the server to let you know who you are, that'd be cool. Or if you can tell it in chat. But so yeah, she was like this was like my that then my GF at the time was basically my inroad into the world of femcell, what the femcell world was, what the Fujoshi world was, because she was hardcore obsessed with yaoi. I was like she was the first person that I could talk with like lewd topics out loud with, so that was an experience. And I remember my dad kept on teasing me like, you like white women. You like white women because I'm Asian and real. Oh, Sergeant! Hey, Sergeant! That's Sergeant. Hold on, I'm getting Hey, Sergeant, what's going on? Oh, drop frames detected. Oh, hey, Sergeant, what's going on? But yeah, she was the one that like the reason why I have such a weird like even if Pippa is my Oshi. The reason why I have such a weird, like, strong attachment to Leah specifically, is because I saw a lot of my XGF in her, my ex-girlfriend in her. Yeah, a lot of her traits, being into anime men, being into yaoi. I barely knew what yaoi was until my girlfriend introduced, like, told me, kept telling me about it. That was also when I made the discovery that, yeah, that like that Hitalia is for girls, what Girls in Panzer is for boys, and all of that. Eventually, which was pretty rough because I'm not going to delve into some personal details on why I think it happened, but at the end of the year, at the end of like 2 years, and like even though like nothing said like Leah's an odd one, yeah. I think it's because like we were both like because even though it's like as degenerate as I get, I'm still religious and nothing like and she was not into really into she was too nervous and too like not into stuff or things to get intimate. Never things never got intimate, things never got sexual, none of that. Because I think because mostly because we still had the mindset of we're just teenagers, we just do things, we're just like students, young guys, like young people, young guys just doing young things. That never really came to mind. We were just like for the most part, while I did appreciate having her around to talk to, for the most part we were just friends. We were basically just we were like I was friend zoned before I really knew what it was like. And another thing, and something I note, and well, anyway, something I did notice was during on one of our dates, she showed me off to her friends. She showed me off to her friends on like she texted it like she took a picture of us together and then she sent it to her friends and showed me the results. And that was the first time I had ever been like considered like cute or hot by women. And that was like my root of well, like, I didn't realize until maybe like only recently that they wanted me like all of her friends were interested in me because I was with her at the time and that I was deeply confused like I was a little bit flattered and deeply confused as to why all these girls suddenly showed me attention the moment I myself got a girlfriend. But finishing up with that on that extensive arc of what it of of my femcell XGF, I felt like she and like at the end of the year, at the end of, like at the end of our 2 years at high school that we knew each other, 2 to 3 years, as far as I can recall, we really just uh, like she like I guess like it was like a semi-official breakup. We decided, yeah, let's just stick with being friends now. She wasn't really interested. Felix, did I tell you about the 3 or 4 times I got hit on by tomboys? No, you did not. No, you did not. All I remember, Sergeant, all I remember you about, or Copperhead to Sergeant, for those who don't know, all I remember is you like in the saying that you were in the Marines, and like your your officer kept on seeing your anime figurines on your desk whenever there was a barracks inspection. That was the one that I remember. The base, yeah, but like I found like again, I shouldn't disclose the reasons like why I think she's asexual, but she eventually came out to me as like she's asexual. She just really wanted a friend to be with. I guess asexual, aromantic because she was into asexual. She was into sexual stuff, but I guess she just wasn't up for it. But things are things, and as much as I feel like it wasn't necessarily the best relationship, I still appreciate her for it, and I still appreciate having that level of companionship for my time in high school. And I've kind of retreated to being just basically a neat for now, not really being besides that one friend that I have that I'm gonna see later. For the most part I'm still a neat. I haven't the most female attention I get is at the gym, and that's extremely rare, if not never, really. But actually, Copperhead, tell us about the time you got tell me about the time you got hit on by tomboys. I want to hear about it. Are you gonna? I feel so old. What do any of these words mean? Femcel is well, it was apparently a woman incel, but basically like a female neat that doesn't go outside, that doesn't really talk to men. Ironically, they still have a much higher chance of getting boyfriends than a lot of people do girlfriends. Howard, I might be older than you. What do I need this? Yeah, Riz, skibidi. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm a Zoomer. I'm not a Gen Alpha. That made me retch in my mouth a little. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go there. 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 I'm not gonna. I know. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not a Gen Alpha. I'm not gonna say that shit. But the brain rot is getting to me. The new Zoomer slang. I've always been. Honestly, I feel like there's I mean, but I feel like there's a massive divide in between Zoomers who were born in the 2000s versus Zoomers who were born in the in the late 90s, because like I feel such a major divide because yeah, because there's such a difference in culture that I pretty much consider post 2000s to be the Zoomers. I never let for the people that like it, basically the internet age happened. The like I was I like all of you talk about the golden age of internet when 4chan wasn't as like infested with with like be it with bullshit when you're the man now dog was a thing where all these like super early internet sites were a thing, and my only exposure to that has to be Newgrounds. I never really like besides Newgrounds, I wasn't really familiar with early internet. Most games were on my like I didn't have a big when Halo was good. Uh I didn't really have that many console games. So most like the majority of my games were on my phone of all things. Were all like or like I was the kid I was a Kindle kid before like the iPad, like I was like the earliest generation of iPad kid because I had an Amazon Kindle. I had games on it. I would play Minecraft on it. That was my exposure to Minecraft besides YouTube videos. And like what happened when Copperhead posted the story. Well, last time it happened was when I was fresh out of the Marines. Went to go see the Northman with my sister, and the girl at the ticket counter saw my Coco Kiryu patch and said, "Oh, Flirty, I like your patch." She had short black hair, looked maybe 7 or 8 years younger than me. Did she know who? Oh man, I would not know that feeling. The only time like ah my the I have never been hit on a woman on anyone younger. uh, for the longest time, I embodied like the Shota archetype. I like hags. I want hags. Hag sex. I lust after Kirsha. Um, I never. Also, I don't really have any VTuber merch. As much as a fan I am of VTubers, I haven't really gotten the opportunity to get VTuber merch. And I was gonna ask for the Pippa jacket. I caveman grunted thanks and went to get popcorn. Oh man, oh, you weren't interested in her, Sergeant? What was wrong? But yeah, for the most part, I think the closest thing I've had to actual female attention was when I complimented Leah's mom on stream, which I have a clip of, but which was the first clip ever posted on my channel is me hitting on Rin Mama on Leah's mom. Foxu is not that old, you dink. Well, I don't know that. The server that I was in was saying that she might be in her early 40s if she was playing MMOs, because of how old she is. And I don't know. I was actually overestimating a lot of Kirsha's age, and possibly my favorite stream that I've done, besides all my like military and like game spurging, has been the No Hard Feelings film freak out. Every relationship I've been in has just been a disaster, so I just be balling and spending all my money in cosplay. I feel a lot of people can relate. Like a lot of like a lot of people haven't had a lot of good relationships, and a lot of us, I think for a lot of young men our age, our prospects aren't the best. They're not the best. We can still keep hoping, we can still keep trying. Foxu's like 30-ish at max. Well, I remember, but possibly my favorite, like again, my favorite stream that I've done is I want to do another film freak out at some point. The film freak out scene, the stream where I was obsessing over the hag Jennifer Lawrence movie, which was the No Hard Feelings, and I kept imagining like I wanted an alternative to I don't want to have to imagine Jennifer Lawrence, even though she is really hot. I don't want to have to imagine Jennifer Lawrence in like the romanceable position. So like don't tell her because I've become like a little bit parasocial for Kirsha ever since. And I think I've gotten like a little bit of a crush. I know it's just a crush. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, bro. It's just parasocial. But I've had a little bit of a crush on Kirsha because in my mind I replaced like Jennifer Lawrence with Kirsha, and it kept spreading out. That's where the 1977 Mercury Cougar thing came from. Because I wrote like I wrote a pitch for on stream. I wrote a pitch for a movie called Cougar, in which it was the lady the woman, the female lead of that movie pitch was gonna be like Kirsha. I still died over the Sawa tweets to Foxu. I can't remember which ones those were. But I still remembering the like the edited movie poster I did for Cougar, which was just me which was me in the place of nanobites getting hugged by Kirsha. I miss Kirsha, and I'm glad she's coming back soon. She's coming back on Friday. So we're gonna see her soon back. Um So do you guys have anything else? Any other questions that you'd like to ask? This has been a really good stream, and I thank y'all for coming because this has been really fun. Just talking, inventing, things like that. I'm gonna check Twitter again. Oh, any notifications. I'm still staring at Hallowed's Finno-Korean hyperwar thing. It's so funny. Felix, just remember you will never be as bad as me and Des. As the like because Deslar is it like for the parasocial thing because like in a lot of servers that I've known Des in, he keeps on like writing love letters to Pippa. All of it like he every like twice every day. I remember talking to Seki Gemma on street like as part of chat, and I said like, oh, I got like a really bad score on I got a really bad score on the VTweeter on like the VTweeter scale because I tweet a lot every day. I tweet a lot. I put out a lot of tweets on I'm barely like I think 0.1 on the VTweeter scale, and then Seki Gamma said no, it's not as bad as Deslaris because, and I realized yeah, Deslaris writes a love letter to Pippa like twice every day, once every morning and once every evening. So like the man is crazy. The man is wild. I don't know how he keeps doing it. I should watch Deslaris stream at some point. I think everyone is a bit parasocial for Kirsha. The Foxu is perfection. Yeah, she's just like Kirsha and Rin Mama are like the two VTubers. Yes, I call Rin Mama a VTuber, and she wants but Pippa got mad at me last time. Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, Kirsha, like it's Kirsha and Rin Mama that are like the two people in the VTuber sphere that I have immediate crushes on whenever I hear their voice. They're just really attractive, and I appreciate that. And my dreams got dashed with Rin Mama because Rin Papa made an appearance on Leah's stream, and I was like, no, she's married. Rin Mama's married, but I realized that, and then I have the weird realization that Rin Papa sounds like one of my uncles. So that's weird. Anyways, so that's all that. For the end, anyways, I guess I should talk about a lot of stuff. Everyone is like base des, and then I get who the hell are you? Pippa's responded to me a few times, but she barely knows who I am. So, and I wouldn't try that. I would, if I were to write a love letter to anyone in phase, it would probably be Dizzy. It would unironically probably be Dizzy because I like that woman. That like I need to be there for that woman. I I still cope. Maybe she is a cradle snatcher. Maybe she does like her guys young. I want that. I want Dizzy. I want Dizzy. Hag Garden. Hag. I wish I could do the Hag Garden. I wish I could do the Hag Garden at Off Kai, even though I'm like across the whole country. Because like all like besides Pippa, the main appeal of Phase Connect has to be the hags. It has to be like all the older women. I watched Pippa grow from like 16K to now. It's been a long road. Yeah, the earliest stream that I can distinctly remember, I can't remember any specific early streams of Pippa. The one when I started watching her, it was around what I would call like when she was still like when she was playing the doing it all for the thrill as her starting BGM. That's when I came in and started watching her. And it's funny the way I discovered Pippa because I found her from a clip. I found her from a clip of her like screaming like I don't want to like not screaming, not the Walmart thing, but it was the you should run over Glowies, the run over Glowies clip. It was like this little video on Discord, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Who the hell is this? The I for the like my all my experience with VTubers were either like um V Shoujo, Hololive, a little bit of Niji Sanji, and like very few indies. So I was not aware of Phase Connect. I was not aware of anyone in that general sphere. So like have like and so hearing Pippa like hearing a VTuber talk about talk about running over glowies was basically like yeah, I need to find out who this is. I need to watch her. And to this day she's still my Oshi, even if I have gotten a little bit more interested in other VTubers. But she is like but that's what caught my eye. Eventually I found out her name was Pippa, and I was like extremely surprised to find out that she was part of an agency. That she was part of a Canadian agency, no less, that would like I was thinking about All Alive. Like my only major experiences with VTuber corpos was Hololive and VShojo. VShojo was like, oh, all the lewd tubers are there. They get to say all the sexual things. They get to be lewd. And then Hololive was all like, we have to be prim and proper. We're idols. We're an idol group. We're like a traditional Japanese idol group and all of that. So hearing like that kind of talent freedom was was an awakening for me, and that's why I guess I'm still so loyal to Phase Connect, is because even though a lot of companies are trying to emulate Phase Connect's formula, like you can't find them anywhere else. They come in a unique brand of crazy over there for the most part, and it's just it's so and I think the first and a major milestone that I remember is her doing the ban appeal stream, Pippa's ban appeal stream, which was oh man, ah that was a stream for the ages. That is what got me onto the Face Connect Discord. That's how I met Sargent. That's how I met all the people, like a lot of the people that I. Oh, hold on. I think my top chat, my chat broke, and let me check my phone. Irie and Arena for me. Pippa's my sister, and Dizzy's wrong. Oh, for love letters, huh? And Dizzy is a cup of tea I can't touch for reasons. That stream was the start to the Dark Ages. Well, that was like I have a history I like that stream was that was my that was it. Like I unironically consider the Pippa Ban Appeal stream, even though I wasn't a part of the Ban Appeals or anything like that. I wasn't even in the Discord at the time. That was when that was like I was just going like after getting kicked out of college, I was starting community college, so I was relying on Pippa for like Menhera mental support as I went on to try and get back into school. And I've been in NEET for some time right now. I haven't gone back to the community college, but Pippa like that was I unironically consider that stream to be like a turning point in my life of all things, because that's when I'm not gonna I shouldn't mention him on stream. I'm not gonna talk about him for content. But that's when I met Henry, and that's when I'm gonna cut it off from there, because anyone who knows me from the they freed my enemy from that stream and caused me too much. Henry, I tried to I did not expect to get personal with Henry. I did not expect things between me and Henry, even online, to get as personal as they did. And I don't like the guy anymore. I don't have any contact with him. He cut me off, and that's a good thing, because I don't want to talk with him anymore. I'm not gonna talk like again. I would feel guilty about using Henry or like my interactions with Henry for content, because they go really personal. They get really personal. They affected me at a time of life when my life got really rough and his was even rougher. But I kind of like, even if the guy's an asshole, I still made a promise to him that I wouldn't reveal most of like the stuff that we talked about. And I have it for safekeeping, but I don't want to open that Pandora's box. And most of all, I don't feel good. I wouldn't feel good about breaking my promise, even if I hate the guy now. So that's that. And I guess I should on a lighter topic. I want to talk about some upcoming streams that I have. I haven't decided on what I'll do next week. Things will slow down. I might have some different things going on. But next week, but not next week, but at some point, because a lot of the oh, Henry's a few suits sh- Henry's a few suits short of a full deck. Best to leave it at that. Yeah, he's crazy. But anyways, on a lighter topic, on the later streams I want to do is I want to do another film freak out at some point. There was an idea for a writer's rants or like reader's rants. I have a lot of backlogs of things to talk about, and something I keep on putting aside is the Fallout. I have this Fallout New Vegas Dead Money thing that, again, this is like the streams that I've attempted to showcase have been a year old. Like a year like oh, hi Mr. Cool. You're back. Hey, we might be ending stream soon, as long as I'm alone in the house, I get to stream. But so we'll keep going. But I want to do something I want to do over this coming summer, is to finish Dead Money on stream. And while I'm gonna focus on Far Cry for now, I want to finish Epic Battle Fantasy, because I've been doing that for a while, and I guess that's my burnout solution. I might be going more into presentation style streams, and just me ranting about various topics, with the gaming and the Far Cry streams like being like alternate things when I just want to play a game, when I just want to share with you guys a game or something. So Epic Battle Fantasy and Far Cry 1. But eventually over the summer I want to complete Dead Money on stream. Fallout New Vegas Dead Money, which I have 5 or 6 plus hours of recordings of a backlog of a let's play that I've been doing. That I've been doing like that. Like I haven't touched that save of that run of New Vegas in a while. So yeah, when to grab an Italian. The man cost me my owl slash moth VTuber. I have nothing but hate for him. I'm not familiar. A Signalis. when to grab an Italian poutine. I thought poutine was Canadian. I'm not familiar with Italian poutine. What about Signalis Copperhead? I remember there was I'm not sure if I would play Signalis. In all honesty, I'm not sure if I would play Signalis because, well, first off, horror games, like actual dedicated horror games, aren't really my thing. And I remember there was a lot of Twitter drama over CS Alfredo doing a doing like military edits of Signalis, which didn't take well to the Signalis community for what from whatever it's worth. And just like Disco Elysium, it's interesting, but I wouldn't call it my thing. It's not my thing. It's not something that I consider myself being like playing just because of the community alone. It's not something that it's not something that I would implore touching. But all the other one that I want to do on stream, which I mentioned during Far Cry, is Half-Life 1. I want to do Half-Life 1 because I've been playing a lot of Gmod, and I want to do Half-Life 2 as well on stream. And I did mention also the original Modern Warfare campaigns as something I wanted to do. Tomoe, I know Tomoe is doing a lot of the stuff that I would be doing, and maybe next week, maybe the week after, I'm not sure. I might revisit Enter the Gungeon, which was the first stream that I ever did. Sorry, Felix. Have a good birthday. I'm going to head out before I go into a Manhara rant and have a good stream. I'm sorry, Thami. Sorry it had to end like that. I really appreciate you for coming because this has really been kind to me. Thank you so much, Thami. Thank you. Goodbye. And Sergeant, I have zero interaction with the Signalis community as exactly as God intended. I feel like that's a lot of the case with a lot of game communities. It's always the certain games. It's always the certain games that attract a fandom, that attract like a certain kind of fandom that will inevitably attract people toxic. But you know what? They've gatekept me. Like, it's a cycle of gatekeeping. I'm not opposed to it, especially in like when it comes to certain topics or certain hobbies. Gatekeeping is fine, and it prevents franchises from getting changed and turned into slop and all that. But Signalis has gatekept me. I'm not really like, and like, so, and like, it goes both ways. Gatekeeping goes both ways. So I'm not really willing to touch it. Anyways, so for the most part, no, I'm not sure what else I should cover. Other than that, the drink here, this drink here, that's supposed to be a Cuba Libre, and I guess I have another story. I know exactly what you're talking about. Rest assured, 99% of those retards haven't played the game. Yeah, I guess I can hope so. Maybe I might try it. I'm not sure, but then again, it isn't really my thing. It isn't really my interest. But I want to do a little story about why I am this drink right here is a Cuba Libre. So at one point I think it was last year. I think last year or the year before, my parents took me out to this we were briefly on vacation. It was last year, directly last year. They took me on vacation to one part of Florida. I do live in Florida. Hold on, let me check the music. Let me check my music. Yeah, it's still going. My parents took me to this really nice Cuban place in as part of like near a hotel. This like fancy it's both a restaurant and like a nightclub like style. There was this really hot like Cuban lady in like this tightest dress, and I knew I was like I got nervous because I didn't want to see my parents my parents seeing me lust over this like really hot Cuban lady who was inviting people to come up on stage and dance with her and all that. And I guess that's not really why I picked the Cuba Libre to have like as a prop drink here. I might be having one later if I can get buy myself a Coke and get into my dad's rum stash if he has any rum. I'm not sure, but so I had that story, and I was like, like that's the, and I remember my dad proposing that because my mom isn't home. My dad proposing that he takes me to Hooters or he takes me to a strip club for my birthday, and I was like, bro, who the hell goes to a strip club with their fucking dad? Or the oh, speaking of the devil, I have to take this call. I'm really sorry. My dad is calling me. So yeah, I got a call from my dad. Hold on. Let me go. Let me check chat again. Papa Valenti, I'm back. What did I miss? I just came back. I was called by my dad. I had a call. I had to speak the devil moment because I was just talking about because my dad was proposing for my birthday. What if I took you out to a strip club? What if I took you out to Hooters? And I was just like, bro, why the hell? Who the hell goes to like a sex thing or like a strip club? Or like I wouldn't take my dad to a fucking maid cafe if it was in Japan. I wouldn't take him to one of those. I wouldn't take him to and he kept on talking and like he mentioned that one of his friends in the Philippines takes his uncles takes his uncles out to strip clubs and I was like that's weird because who the hell takes their family? Who the hell takes like you don't do that. That's like you're weird if you do that. I'm sorry. You don't like you can be horny. I'm horny on stream, but you don't do that. You don't share that with your parents. Just like my parents get to like hide their horny from me. That's not a mutual exchange. That's a closed. That's a that like that trade route is closed. You don't do that. You don't do that, man. But yeah, so I oh I used to be friends with a Filipino guy and he did the same thing for his 18th. Well, did he take his dad to a strip club? Did he take his dad to a strip club? Oh man. Speaking from experience, strip clubs are shit. I remember back in the brief year that I was at college, I was in a club with a lot of friends, and they kept on talking about like the certain parts of like the city where my college was at, like because they were in the military. Like I guess a sergeant relating to you because they were in the military too. They were army reserve while studying. No, I think they were active, like either army reserve or active duty army while at college and they were the president of my club, and like one of the times that we were having like a dinner out, we were talking about this shit, like yeah, like like it's not about like which clubs have the hottest performers. It's which clubs have the least sad strippers, and they're like, it was so funny. I've never been to a strip club. I've never been to a Hooters. I've never done anything like that. Like I said, the closest thing to that was that nightclub style Cuban restaurant where I was like crushing on that really hot Cuban lady that kept dancing with people on stage. Um yeah, on Saturdays, one of the things my dad called me about was we're going out to a gun range. I spoke about it earlier on stream. We're going out to a gun range soon. And like this is gonna be a semi first time experience for both of us. Most of my experience with guns comes from this hunting class, this hunting camp that my parents like left me at for one of the summers when I was really young. I got to shoot a 22, a Savage 22 rifle, a Hawken rifled musket, and a Remington 870 20 gauge pump action shotgun, which is why I like the Remington 870 so much. And why I'm interested in getting it for like a hunt. Like I'm not really interested in hunting, but it'd be a good home defense gun. This is my first foray into like semi-automatics. Maybe I might try out a revolver at the range, and like I said, apparently like my dad had, ironically, despite coming from the Philippines, my dad has fired more guns like in the Philippines than before he immigrated to the US and became a US citizen. He hasn't fired any guns since, as far as I remember. And he used to talk big because um in the Philippines he lived with his frat bros in this really, I think it was part of a medical mission, part of like cuz and one of his frat brothers was a politician. Oh, from Copperhead from Sergeant. The only good time I had at a strip joint was when I was plastered as shit on Long Island before I knew how to handle alcohol and and ton and 10 other Marines, and I violated LIBO. What's LIBO? By going out of state. Is that like you violated your terms of leave or something because you were out of state? But yeah, going back to the what I was talking about before, my dad talks big about, oh, I've shot a gun. Oh, I've shot a Spaz 12. No, it wasn't. No, it was no, it wasn't, Dad. You probably saw like an 870 with with an overfolder stock and like saw Terminator 2 and it's like, yeah, it's a Spaz 12. I've shot a Spaz 12 in the Philippines. One of my fraternity brothers had a Spaz 12 in the Philippines. He kept it for home defense. I have trouble believing that. Oh, I shot a Beretta. I don't know about that, Dad. Let's see if you still remember. And I distinctly remember going to the World War the National Liberty equals LIBO. Oh, Liberty. I'm not familiar with that term. Like I think leave in the military. I'm not really familiar with the terms of that term. But I remember taking my dad was when we were in New Orleans, which was one of my more favorite vacations. It's a troubled city, but I only got to see the more touristy areas. So that was fun. New Orleans, going to New Orleans was fun. I like the beignets. I like eating po' boys and buffletas. It's a really it's you go there for the food. You go there for the food. If you're into that thing, you go for the partying. You go to see the sights and the history. You see for like you go for the ghost tours. But if for New Orleans, you also go for the National World like that's the U.S. World War II Museum. I took him to the spot where there was like the Normandy or like to the Normandy exhibit, and he looked at a grease gun and he said, "Oh, it's like an Uzi." I mean, like he's not entirely wrong. But the fact that there was an Uzi in his mind, it's just like my dad thinks he knows a lot about guns. He doesn't. He doesn't, and it's fun. And it's a little bit funny, but a little bit embarrassing. So, I'm mentally preparing myself to correct him, or like having the instructor correct him when we go out to the range this Saturday. So, do you guys have any more questions? I do have a confirmed stream ending time. It's gonna be around 6:35, because that's when my dad comes home. You guys have anything else? You guys have any more questions? Leave equals vacation time. Liberty means off work hours. You're only allowed to travel so far in case ship pops off and you gotta get on a boat. Was this on were you in port? Were you in like, or was the base on an island? Did you have to take a ferry to get to the mainland or something like that, or were you on a boat at the time? I've Liberty equals off work hours. You gotta get on a boat. Was this when you were serving on an aircraft? When you were on the aircraft carrier, Sergeant? I guess it makes sense for off work hour to be like that. Something ironic I'm doing is that I'm currently editing a music video while not studying for a tax exam tomorrow. I love tax evasion. You have what are tax exams in Ireland? This is my first time hearing about a tax exam. I guess the closest thing that we have here in the US would be like learning about taxes, or like learning how to do taxes. Learning, and I don't know what to pay, like I don't know what paying taxes is like yet, because I haven't I've never held a steady job. The only time, like, I've held like a youth job at like my local golf course, at like teaching kids how to play golf, but my first like real paying job that did income was me being like a maintenance worker at this private golf course, and I got fired. Like, I'm studying accounting in college. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, I didn't like one of the more disheartening things was like only a few days after my 18th birthday, I was fired from my first ever job because I was late. I got one check for work doing work on one day. So that was that. And I do want to, like, besides PNG tubing, at some point this summer I want to get a job, because to occupy my time, I need a source of income to do all the things that I want. So I might look into getting some kind of job near me at some point. Be it, not sure where. A lot of like For a while, my dream job has been being a worker at a movie theater. I know it's tough working hours. You have to sit around doing nothing. You have to attend to a lot of people. But I like movies. I like the movie theater, and I feel like I could go into being a worker at a movie theater as a summer job, which would be nice because there's a lot of summer is usually the big movie season. Summer and winter always are. I'm studying so Hallowed is studying accounting in college. The thing I want to like At some point I'm looking into applying for another college near me. I was When I was still in college, when I was still before community college, at college at this was real making music while doing cosplay while also being into photography and cameras is so expensive. I really need a job. Oh yeah, that's like I need some like I everyone needs something to fund their hobbies, and I really need something to maybe I could invest in a model for, maybe I could get VTuber merch. Maybe I could get anything else that I need for this channel, that I need for going on, and that's probably going to be for a job, like an actual working labor, because this channel isn't monetized. I don't have super chats on. I think integrating my wallet into YouTube would be a bit of a hassle. So yeah, that's why I don't think you shouldn't be getting ads on my streams, because this isn't monetized. These aren't monetized for now. This is purely a hobby thing. But when I like the college that I plan to attend to coming up is I plan to do it for international relations and political science, where I get that like a lot of colleges are like it's a bit controversial to study that at college nowadays, and a lot of people are doing political science anyway. But I need a place to channel my autism, to channel my to channel this to pent up autism, and I think going back to college would be a good source of that. It would be a good way to do that. So there's that, and I need to do all the tax info for my channel. It was kind of hard because I had to put in all my tax info. Are you monetized? Hallowed? Are you monetized for your channel? Hallowed Hallowed cosplay. There's a lot of people named Hallowed. Um, named Hallowed for the uh, do you have your do you have your channel link in your Twitter? Oh, Irish cosplayer. Oh, you there. Yeah, you have a link there. Oh, yeah. I want to get into I think it was after like because we're both part of like the New Vegas community, like the Fallout New Vegas community. Like a lot of what I'm interested in was would be doing Fallout cosplays, but also VTuber related ones because the part of the reason why I wanted the Pipkin Pippa jacket so badly. Oh, it's this account that oh it's this account that I'm currently talking with. Oh, I'll check you out later at some point. But yeah, part of the reason why I really wanted the wood Pippa jacket is because I wanted the if y'all know what Fedcore is, I'm gonna I'm gonna replace the Finicrian Hyperwar thing with Fedcore style because no, that's Fedora. That's something else. I don't think we can find it because I've only seen it on I've only seen it on Twitter because it's basically like an army BDU jacket over a business casual, either business slacks or like military fatigues bottoms, and it's always like a baseball cap or a baseball cap and sunglasses, and I wanted to do that sort of thing, acting like a Fed by being based. Well, kind of like I guess it's like in the style of how FBI agents dress nowadays with the raid jacket plus the suit and the shirt and the tie underneath. Let me see if I can find it. Um on Twitter. Hold on. Um Fedcore. Yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I was looking at. This kind of style right here. Um let me increase the size of this window. Hold on. Let me walk on over here. Okay. Let me adjust that and make that bigger. Oh, nope. Make this bigger. There we go. It's like this style that you're seeing right here. This guy, like what this guy's wearing. Yeah, aka being glowy. You know, like how a glowy would dress. This kind of like military BDU over business casual. Over business casual, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's like this. It's like you have the BDU, you have the sometimes you have the balaclava, sometimes you have a gun, like a showed off. Introducing Fedcore, an aesthetic that introducing Fedcore, an aesthetic that exists entirely to mimic Feds, but you can be a Fed while doing it. But you can only look like one and act like one. Yeah, that kind of thing. And I wanted the LeWood. Let's go to LeWood, and it's Lou, but it's ew. This jacket. I wanted this jacket right here, so I could pair it with like something like this. Something, but instead of the BDU, it's this jacket. And I think the contrast between this like really colorful racing jacket, this like really racing, this like really bright Pippa style jacket, and this sort of outfit would be really funny to wear at some kind of convention. And I'd have like a belt with a I'd like it would be worn open. I'd have like an open carry appendix holster with like a fake gun, and it would be I'd have like some like I should get like a Pakistan or a Pippa. Uh, this jacket comes with the Pippa patches, but I feel like an additional Pippa patch somewhere on my body would be pretty funny to wear. Scrolling Twitter on a live stream is a very risky decision, a very risky decision, but I fuck with it. Yeah, I went straight to the search so I could like read out read out this. Hold on, is this still for sale? 125 USD. Yeah, it's sold out. Small sold out. All the big ones are sold out. Knowing fellow capitalists we're a bit big boned, we're a bit heavy, we're big rabbits. So you have this sort of style, and I always liked this sort of style because it always reminded me as well of like the CIA agent character in the 80s action movies that helps the protagonist. They'd always be wearing like something like this, or at least the business casual under it. Anyways, so we have that. And I think like besides like that's the sort of cosplay I'd be interested in sort of doing, and especially at a VTuber convention. If I ever go to Offkai, I'm not going to Offkai mostly because one, it's in fucking California, and I have Sergeant, are you going to Offkai? I know Seki Gema I think might be going to Offkai. The only YouTuber merch I've ever bought was one from a guy called Muscle Pilled, and it was a hoodie from which had Eat the Homeless on the back of it, and it had all the calories of each body part. Oh, it's like the carved up that you see on steakhouse. It's like the carved up wore to the gym constantly, always got weird looks. Is it like that? Hold on, let me pull that up. Um, a cuts of beef chart. Is it like this? Was it like one of these where it's like it's the cuts of beef, but it's for a human instead? You have the chuck, you have the rib, you have the short loin, the sirloin, you have all like the steak parts of a cow. But it's like a homeless guy. Was that what it was? Not eating prostitutes and the homeless, it's killing your gains, bro. uh, I remember that. I remember seeing that a lot. Now look up Eat the Homeless Muscle Pill hoodie. Um, muscle pulled. Eat the home. Oh jeez, it's this one. And he's in a Boba Fett. He's in a Mandalorian helmet too. Eat the homeless. What the hell is this? That is demonic. I love it. It goes hard. Yeah, it does go hard. It looks like that guy who's like the like the crazy, like the monkey chittering guy. I have to go to work, and then he puts on a cap and says, I have to go to work, and he's being all like, yeah, like a monkey or like Gollum speaking to the camera. I'm not sure if I can find it on YouTube, and I'd probably find a lot more, a lot of different stuff that I wasn't being able to look for on YouTube, but it reminds me of that, this pose. Eat the homeless. So anyways, so I think I might be ending here 6:30. It's been fun. I really appreciate everyone who came to stream. Everyone who came to stream. Thank you, Hallowed. Thank you, Sergeant or Copperhead. Thank you, Thami, and thank you, Chronosol. That's your first stream, and Mr. Cool as well. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, everyone. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having someone to celebrate my birthday with. I really appreciate y'all for coming. So. Hold on, I got a few more minutes before I peace out. But have a great birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And I'll enjoy my my Cuba Libre, my rum and coke.